Okay. In the last class, we were discussing about the triggers and trigger handler, those things. Today, let us see about Apex testing. So before that, let me show. So what is sandbox? Sandbox is uh, it's a replica of your production environment. Replica of production. Okay, production arc. The sandbox purpose is use it to make a copy of production and also for development testing UAT pre-prod environment like that. Okay, whenever there is some deployment is happening, whenever there is some new updates going to release, so that time what they will do, they will just deploy from pre-prod to production. That's it. Okay, so by that time when they are deploying from pre-prod environment to production, they will develop that change in different environments. So those are nothing but sandboxes, those environments. So sandbox will have configurations from the production and also user information. Users, those are available in production automatically. Whenever you create a copy, it will create in the sandbox also, the users. Okay, other configurations without data. If you want to get the data also, live data, then full copy sandbox. There are different variety of sandboxes are there. Developer sandbox, developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox. Copy means data. So data from production partially copied while creating the sandbox. Full copy sandbox. Okay, full copy sandbox is used to clone the production. So based on the data availability, data allocation in those sandboxes, different varieties of sandboxes we have. For development, testing, UAT, these things we can use developer partial copy. And for pre-prod environment, we can use full copy sandbox. Okay, let us see. In the enterprise edition account, okay, unlimited edition account, all other paid accounts of Salesforce, so you can get that sandbox option.
Okay, okay, sir.
So in your developer edition account, you can't see. This is my developer edition account. In the setup, if I search for sandbox, there is no option. Okay, because it is a free one and it is not production anymore. Okay, so let me show that sandboxes. You can see this is my developer hub R. This acts as a production for me. You can see here sandbox creation. Okay, developer pro, partial copy, full copy. To see this, you need to sign up for the 30 days Salesforce account, 30 days trial account.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that will list all these sandboxes. Okay. Even full sandbox also, I think, enable. That's fine. So creating the sandbox is same any type. So we'll just click on new sandbox, give the name, and then these are the limitations. Developer Pro, capacity 200 MB, 1 GB size, 5 GB, same as source production. Refresh interval every 29 days gets updated from the production. Okay, 5 days. Even though there will be refresh button, whenever you click that button, that time it will get refreshed. If not, every 5 days it will get refreshed from production. Okay.
Okay.
Developer Pro every 1 day, developer every 1 day. And what it includes by default, all the configurations, code, all users information, these things. In partial copy, different records also you can include sample data. So, so you can select objects. So those data only, selected object data. In full, so almost same like production. It behaves same like production. It will include all the changes from production, including the data also. Okay. So let us see creating. So click next. Dev sandbox. Then after next. Okay, let it be create. Okay, it will take some time. After that, it will generate the org ID and also so it will active. To log into this environment, you will use your Salesforce credentials only. So our sandbox name is dev. dev. To log in, what you have to do? You have to use your username. Your username. Suppose this is your username. Then after dev. Okay. And then password same. Production password. You have the credentials, right? Production credentials. Same credentials plus dev will be added. And the login URL is different. test.salesforce.com. Okay.
Okay.
Only login URL different, and additionally sandbox name uh, post fixed to your username. That's it. Clear this?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So password is same like production. Then it will take you to the sandbox environment. Okay. Now let us see. Now let us see what is the purpose of this testing. Okay, deployment is nothing but moving the data across the orgs. First, you develop the data in dev. Okay, you tested in TST4. Then after UAT, then after prod. So deployment. So your changes moved across different arcs due to deployment process. For that deployment process, you need Apex testing. During deployment of your Apex changes. Okay, for Apex code, because that is your server side coding programming. So server side code should be covered by test classes. That is Apex testing. Clear?
Yes, yes.
During the deployment of your code changes, yeah, you need to make sure your code is covered by at least 75% code coverage. Code coverage is must. So you cannot skip this. If your code is not at least 75% covered, then it cannot deploy your code to production. Okay. So Salesforce recommends 100%. Salesforce recommends 100% code coverage. Code coverage. So how to write test classes and where you can check this code coverage percentage. So whenever you go to the Apex classes, okay, this is one Apex class. What is this dynamic Apex class? See here, there is one Apex class. Okay, so this is the field which displays the code coverage on that Apex class. Code coverage is 0%. So total executable lines of code is 8. So 8 lines are not covered. If 8 lines are covered by your test classes, then the code coverage will be 100%. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let us see now. So let me take the same example. To achieve the code coverage for this class, create a Apex class, test so this is the class name. So you can give any name, but by we as an indication we'll use a test to the class name, either before or after, or you can use underscore in between. So that is fine. That you can define, you know. So as an indication, we are putting test. That's it.
Okay.
Now let us see. So here there is a method. Display method is there. So that you need to call in the test class and verify the results. So that's it to test this scenario. So testing will use testing code, use unit tests, nothing but test methods only. Test methods. Test methods nothing but methods with is test annotation. Okay, or test method keyword. So what happen if you use these indications, is test annotation or test method, then it won't it won't be considered in the args limitation, args apex coding limitations. Okay, every Salesforce organization will have some limit, 5 MB, 20 MB,
Okay.
like that. So in the args limitation or the apex classes, there you can see that limit. See here,
Okay.
apex classes. Okay, percent of apex used, 1%. So out of the 100% I am allowed to write the code. As of now, only 1% I utilized. Okay. This is the limit, number of characters limit. So out of which I have written this much characters. So in this limit, it won't include those test methods which are with is test annotation. Okay. So that is one purpose. So let us see how it look like. Is test public static. Test methods are of static type. Static should be used. Public static void test something, like that. This is the outline of test method. So here, to test something, what you need to follow, we'll follow some steps. Step one is prepare the test data. Prepare the test data, test inputs. Step two is perform target operation. Perform target operation to test. Which operation you want to test, that operation you have to perform. Then after, third step is verify test results. Okay. Prepare the test data inputs. Then after, perform the target operation. Then after, verify the test results. Okay. So these are the steps. Now let us see this. This is our class. This we are trying to cover. Let me open this. Okay, here also you can see in the developer console, code coverage is none. Okay, here also you can check.
Okay.
So when the class becomes a test class, then additionally there will be one button. Run test button will be there, appears. So this is normal class. This is test class. How I am making normal class as test class? By putting the is test annotation. Then this becomes the test class, which has the unit test. You can see this button, run test button.
Yes.
So whenever you are checking the code coverage and whether test unit tests are passed or failed, so you need to use this tab tests. Here the status appears. Which method? What is the status? Whether success or fail. Overall args code coverage class wise 100%, 76%, like that 0%, 100%. Like that here you can check class wise percentage. Okay. So let us see now. So let me copy this and create a unit test like this. So I'm already there. Okay. So this is the outline of. So you want to test. You want to test this method execution. So that method is defined where in this class. So what type of method it is? It is non-static. To test this, you need to call this method. To call this, you need a object of this class because this method is non-static method. So non-static method you can call with the object name. Okay. So this is the object name. That is the test input. Perform the target operation is nothing but calling that method. This is the method. It is not having any parameters and it is not returning anything, just void, not returning anything. Okay, verify test results. It's optional. So we have the assertion methods, system.assertion method to verify the results. To verify test results, we have system related methods, asset system dot asset equals system dot asset dot equals like that. So these are the methods. Okay. So these methods take parameters like um, A equal to B. So it takes the expression here inside this method. A, B are two values. You are comparing those values whether equal or not. That is assertion. If that assertion is uh, correct, A equal to B, then so it throws true, it returns true, otherwise false. If all assertions result is true, then our test passed. If any assertion failed, our test results is failed. Okay. So whenever this type of comparison, between your expected value and actual value and your expected output, expected value. You are doing some operation and you are expecting the output, and that expected value you are checking with the actual value. Actual value will be assigned in one variable. So with that variable you are compare in the assertion statements. If you use the assert method, you have to put like this: actual value equal to expected value. So same here, assert equals method takes two parameters: actual value, expected value. This also takes two parameters: actual, expected. Then same type of expectation, Boolean value, it returns true, false. Okay.
Okay.
So usage is same, but different parameters, different way of usage. That's it. Okay. We'll see. So to verify results. So what I will do, I'll call this Salto, and I'll expect something. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So after calling that method, p dot L2, this is one value. So this I am expecting with some other value. Let us see. System dot asset equals, okay, actual value, expected value. Your expectation, I think first 5,000 comma this, like that. We'll see. Maybe the visibility variable does not visible. So this variable is not visible because by default it's a private. So let us make this public. Okay, now it is visible here. Okay, now let us see. So running the particular test class, and your test class is failed. This is the test method. The test method is failed. Why? Invalid conversion from runtime type date to string. In this class, line number 13, line number 12. So what we are doing in line number 12, we are calling the method. Okay, line number 13. So runtime conversion is not possible. That is the issue. Let me create the constructor, then we'll see what happens. Here value conversion is happening, and that's why. Okay, now also issue. So whether this is a test failed or passed, code coverage will be achieved. If we check here,
Okay.
look like that also not achieved. We'll see.
Okay.
So that method calling is not happening. Okay, here you can see code coverage updated, but here it is not updated. Code coverage 77%. 7 lines covered. Which lines covered, that also you can check. Here that updates actually, but it is not. Let me show that in the Visual Studio Code. So that needs again SFDX commands to test. So using SFDX commands, you can check. This is simple actually, but it is not refreshing. Let me remove this conversions. Something related to conversion, it is happening. What if I call here? From here. Obj dot invalid conversion from type to string, line number 12 has the issue. One. Okay, it is not supporting actually. This is not supporting. That conversion is not supporting date to string. That is the issue. Earlier I didn't check this one. Date time to invalid conversion from runtime time to date time to time. Okay, date time to time also not. Let me put all together, then what happens, we'll see. Okay, now also look like not supporting line number 15. Now no issue. We need this variable to test. Okay. Okay. We were testing in, we were checking this in the test class. The test class won't, show this coverage. You have to check here. I was
Okay.
checking in a wrong place. So I was checking for code coverage here in the test class. So open the class and here you have to check.
Okay.
See. Okay. These are the lines of code covered.
Okay.
Lines of code covered. Like this. If any lines of code not covered, then it will display in the red color indication for those lines which are not covered. Okay. So 100% code coverage now. This class has 100% code coverage. If we refresh here, 100%. If we check the test results, test failed. Test results failed. Why? Because assertion failed.
Yeah.
Expected, you are expecting 5,000, but actually it's 4,500. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why assertion failed. So it achieved 100%, but in the deployment, at the time of deployment, it throws the error because assertion failed. Coverage is okay, but assertion is failed, so it won't allow.
Okay.
Your tests run with the errors. So those errors you need to fix first.
Okay.
So here, see here, this variable we are checking here, assertion, this variable value, salary 2. Salary 2, what is salary 2? Salary 2 is a salary converted value. Salary is this. Salary is 45. Okay. 100. Decimal is there. Decimal 50. So
Yes.
this value converted as integer and only integer part is taken into salary 2. So 4,500 only goes to salary 2. 4,500 only goes to salary 2. That you can check here. Yeah. This output, line number 19 output, you can check. Here you can see. Okay, line number 19 output,
Yes.
4,500. So your expectation is you are checking that value and you are expecting 5,000. That's why assertion failed. If you are expecting exact value, then your assertion pass. Okay, you are checking exact value. So let us rerun test. Okay, see here, test passed.
Yes.
Just a success message. Completed, successful. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Srinivas, every time it is possible to get 100% or in the real time, or mostly they will check 80% or 85%.
Yeah, we can achieve at least 80%. Every time 100% is sometimes not possible. 80% we can achieve
Okay.
minimum. Minimum, that is best practice. Everybody knows 100% achieving 100% is not possible.
Okay.
So what they will do, they will recommend achieve at least 80% or 85% target they will fix. Okay. So during our deployment, they will review, right? Your managers or
Yes. Yes.
other. So they will check whether 85% is there or not, like that. If 80%, 85%, they will give sign off on that. Otherwise, technically, what is happening, you have to explain them. Uh, so, yeah, they will be convinced on that. Okay. In rare scenarios, sometimes 75% also not possible.
At that time, they what it won't allow to deploy, right?
That time they will just won't run the test classes. Will just bypass testing that particular class and allow deployment.
Okay.
Okay. So in real-time scenarios, this type of issues happen. So once that is gone to the production, then no issue. So with using other classes, we can improve the overall code coverage. Just bypassing that.
Okay.
So that is how you can make sure overall percentage is above 75%. Okay. So let us cover the code coverage for triggers. Okay.
Okay.
So we have the Prashant trigger to achieve code coverage. So nothing, 0%, right? 0% code coverage. Okay. We are using the handler. We need to cover this handler. Handler class. So this also 0, nothing. Now let us see how to cover this. So what we are doing here, first understand in trigger. What we are doing, we are taking some input, list of record. While testing this, you need to pass list of record. Then after, we are checking the rating, whether rating is null or not. If the rating null, then it gives, okay, this moment. If any record is not having that rating value, then we are taking into another list. On that another list, we are displaying the error messages. That is what we are doing here. To test this, what you have to do, you have to make sure whatever the list you are passing, that must have rating blank. That's it. Trigger will take care of everything. Okay.
Okay.
You just need to make sure this condition is happen in your input. Whenever you are calling this method, you are passing the records, right?
Yes.
Those records must have the rating blank. That's it.
Okay.
So nothing else. You need to make sure this is happen. This condition is happen. So let us see. To test this, we are creating another test Prashant trigger handler. Put annotation is test or public static test method keyword void test what. This is the method. This is the method. This has parameter. Test this. This have parameters. So your target operation is test this method. Test this method by passing the value. Your test input is nothing but getting this data. This data is your input. Prepare data for data for data for this list. Okay, we need to prepare one list dummy data. That dummy data we need to pass to that method, call trigger method. Okay, so then after verify results, that is optional, right? So let us see. Preparing the dummy data for list accounts. Account A1 equal to new account, name equal to ABC, other details, phone equal to then after rating I'm keeping as blank, revenue other details not required. So this is my first record. Second record, third record. Insert. So let me take a list. A1, A2, A3. Okay. Insert ACC list. So nothing getting inserted if you say insert, because this is testing. Whatever you do inside a test method, unit test, nothing will happen in real time. No new data goes to database. Okay. So unit test, unit test won't perform DML operations. Okay. Sending emails, outbound messages. So all are just testing purpose, whatever you are applying. It won't create anything, deleting anything. It will just testing purpose. If you are writing outbound email logic also, it won't send any email. Okay, like that. So those are the unit test limitations. So here, so you mentioned insert. So that is a test insert only. So those records you can retrieve, and you can pass in the while calling this trigger method, call trigger method. To call this method, what type of method it is? So you prepared the test data. Then after to call this is static method. We need a class name, dot method name. So the method is having parameter list of records. That list of records. Okay, I'm not inserting. I'm just preparing the list and then passing to this method. That's it. Okay. Now this method is called and then code will be covered. That's it. See, test run successful. Okay, all lines are covered.
Yes.
Here also it should be covered. Is not updated for some reason.
Right.
But it should be covered actually, because here handler is covered, right? So let me check in this place. Why it is not covered? Prashant trigger new. Also, it's appears as it's refreshed only.
Okay.
Whenever you are opening means it's refreshed only. Before insert. Okay. I told you, right? So you need to perform that activity. This trigger works only when you are performing the DML insert. But here what I did, I just called this method. Calling this method won't work here. Calling this method just covers this class only, not the trigger. Trigger logic is insert. You have to insert data. Okay. Here you are not inserting. If you perform insert, then it will cover. Now it should cover. So okay. Now let us see. Insert failed because of that error. Select ready. But here code coverage will be achieved. See?
Yes.
Also code coverage 100%. So whenever you perform the DML operation, that time only trigger gets covered.
Okay.
Because trigger works only when you are performing DML operation. That's the reason.
Yes.
Here class is covered, but trigger is not covered. That is because you didn't perform the DML in your test class. Okay, now it is 100%. 1 out of the 1 covered. Yeah. The trigger has 2 forms and we have checked both forms.
Okay.
So integration has a different testing. Whenever you integrate, whenever you integrate third-party application with the Salesforce, for that if you write the Apex classes for integration, to test that integrated integration related code, we have separate. Additionally, we need a mock API.
Okay.
So that using that mock API output, we'll test our code, integration code. So that is different thing. We'll see later once integration we started that time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this is how you can achieve. Then your code during the deployment process, your code can be pushed to other orgs.
Okay.
Let us see here sandbox whether ready or not. So sandbox is ready, activating, still activating in progress. Okay. Yeah, it's created, but still it is taking time. So during this process, it will make a copy of all the configurations from this production environment.
Okay.
So that is why it is taking time. Okay. Yeah. So that's all for today. We'll continue on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Prashant. Bye.